Lil Durk just spoke out about how so many of his rapper friends switched sides and started showing love to YB. And you can tell it hit him deep. These were people he saw as real brothers. Loyalty was his whole image. Only the family wasn't just a label, it was a lifestyle. Now he's sitting in a federal cell, facing serious time, watching the same folks he helped rise start aligning with his biggest rival, NBA YoungBoy. And that's shocking, because YB was once the same artist the whole industry avoided working with. Back then, everyone was standing with Durk, Lil Baby, G Herbo, Tusi, Young Gene Ace. All of them are now acting different, and what's next is straight up messy. To really understand this, we gotta rewind to November 6th, 2020, the night that divided the rap game. It's 3 a.m. at Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. King Von gets into it with Quando Rondo's team. A confrontation breaks out, and in the chaos, Lil Tim fires shots. Von loses his life. This wasn't just music beef. It turned personal. Quando was close with NBA YoungBoy, and Durk and YB had already been clashing since 2019. After that night, the industry was split down the middle. You were either rocking with Durk or with YB, no in between. Durk was on top. The Voice was blowing up. Three-Headed Goat was everywhere, and even Drake was backing him. The industry stood behind Durk while YoungBoy got blocked from shows, radio, and awards. For years, it was all about picking a side, and most chose Durk. Lil Baby called him brother. G Herbo said Von was family. Tusi was all over OTF, content showing love. But now, that loyalty looking real questionable. Young Gene Ace looked up to the older generation and was going hard against NBA YoungBoy in his tracks. Jacksonville versus Baton Rouge was real online. Ace was posting Durk, showing love, and standing solid with him. Plus, his best friend was Jada Youngin, who at the time had serious tension with YB before his tragic passing. By 2022 to 2023, Durk was untouchable. 7220 hit #1. All My Life with J. Cole became his biggest hit ever. He had Apple Music ads, Rolling Loud stages, and even Kanye giving him props. From Inglewood to worldwide fame, everyone around him was eating off that Durk wave. OTF looked unbreakable. More than a label, it was family. But that loyalty was about to be put to the test. October 24th, 2024, everything changed. The feds came through in South Florida with charges involving conspiracy and firearm offenses. They had flight records, transactions, text messages, and calls. A full paper trail with a 95% conviction rate. This was no small case. When the feds move like that, it's serious. That's the moment real loyalty is supposed to show. You hold your brother down, post him, send help, keep his name strong. But when those charges dropped, things got cold fast. The industry started acting distant. Suddenly, people who were once family began moving cautious, worried the heat might reach them. And it didn't happen by chance. There was a reason. While Durk was fighting his case, another artist was rising fast. Lil Baby was the first to make a move. He unfollowed Durk on Instagram and started liking NBA YoungBoy's posts. The internet went wild. NBA YoungBoy's posts started getting likes from Lil Baby. Not just one or two, but multiple back-to-back, like he was part of the fan club. Let's be real, when you're Lil Baby, you don't just accidentally unfollow your brother and start liking your rival's content. That's a statement. The internet went wild calling him a snake and questioning where the loyalty went. But here's the reality. While Durk was locked up fighting serious time, YoungBoy was finally free from house restrictions and back flooding the internet with hits. His independent grind proved you didn't need a label or the industry support to win. His fan base is one of the strongest out there, and Baby saw that. Durk's future was uncertain, and YB's rise was undeniable. His numbers were skyrocketing even without mainstream backing. So Baby did what a lot of rappers do when the tables turn. He switched sides quietly. That's how the game works. When you're hot, everyone's around. When you're down, they look for someone else to stand next to. After Baby made his move, the dominoes fell fast. Tusi suddenly announced a full tour with NBA YoungBoy. Not one collab, a whole tour. This was the same artist YB had major issues with before, yet now they were sharing stages right after Durk got locked up. That's not just moving funny, that's a total switch up. Then came G Herbo, caught in the club rapping YB lyrics word for word with full energy. That clip went viral quick. Remember, Herbo and Durk came up together in Chicago, both repping the same city, both calling King Von family. So when fans saw him turning up to music from Durk's rival, it looked bad, even if he said it was just vibing. And maybe the wildest flip of all, Young Gene Ace The same Ace who used to drop diss tracks aimed at YoungBoy for years, turning that Jacksonville versus Baton Rouge tension into real music beef, now showing love. The internet couldn't believe it. At first, Youngeen Ace was riding hard for Durk, posting OTF nonstop, talking loyalty in every interview, acting like he'd never switch. But once Durk got locked up, everything flipped. Ace was suddenly online vibing to YoungBoy's music, even making a public post about it. Fans were stunned, like how you go from dissing him to bumping his tracks. What happened to all that talk about loyalty? But that's how the game moves. When the politics shift, so do people. Seems like these days, self-preservation beats loyalty every time. Durk saw it all from behind bars. Before his arrest, he even dropped cryptic messages on his story. Everybody love you when you on top. Watch who you call brother. It's like he knew what was coming. His team kept posting subliminals, clearly frustrated watching the same faces that once smiled with Durk now acting different. You could feel it. He was realizing who was truly solid and who was just around for the shine. But through all that noise, Durk's real ones stayed loyal. India Royale stayed down. His blood family stayed down. The original OTF crew, the ones from the trenches, never switched. The ones who folded were mostly industry rappers. The same people who ate off his name, got bigger platforms because of his cosign, and then turned their backs the minute things got hard. That kind of betrayal cuts deep. Street tension with rivals is one thing. You expect that. But when the ones you called brother flip for clout or safety, that's the kind of pain money can't fix. And here's the real truth. This wasn't just about loyalty. It was about fear, power, and politics. For years, NBA YoungBoy was blackballed. Nobody wanted to risk going against the system. Labels, playlists, radio, they all shut him out. But by 2024, everything changed. YoungBoy proved he didn't need any of them, and that scared the whole industry. NBA YoungBoy went fully independent, dropping project after project and still outselling rappers with major label backing. His fan base was crazy loyal. He could post a song at 3 a.m. and hit millions of views by sunrise. No radio push, no playlist support, no label funding, just pure fan power. The industry was shocked. Label execs started studying his formula, realizing the game had changed for good. YoungBoy wasn't fading. His influence was growing even stronger despite the so-called blackball. Meanwhile, Durk was sitting in that cell, facing a tough legal battle with evidence looking bad and real talk that he might not touch the streets again for decades. So now rappers had to make a choice. Stay loyal to Durk, who might be gone for a long time and can't boost their careers, or align with YoungBoy, who's dominating the charts, running his own empire, and could open new doors for them. And most of them, they chose the easy route. Business over loyalty, money over morals, career over brotherhood. That's how this industry really works. But here's the wild twist nobody expected. While all these rappers were switching sides, posting YoungBoy's songs, trying to show love, YB himself didn't even acknowledge them. Lil Baby liked his posts, YB never followed back. Tusi went on tour with him, YB barely posted him. G Herbo rapped his lyrics, YB stayed silent because YB knew what it was. They weren't showing love out of respect. They were doing it because Durk was down bad. That's not loyalty, that's pure opportunism. And YoungBoy wasn't falling for it. He didn't need their validation when the whole industry turned their backs before. He built his name without them, without their help, without their cosigns. He let them post and vibe to his music, but never gave them what they wanted, his approval. That's real power. YB moved like someone who doesn't need anyone's support, because the truth is, he never did. His fans were always enough. Chief Keef and Durk came up together, but Sosa always stayed neutral through the whole Durk versus YoungBoy situation. He never picked sides, just minded his business, stayed in LA, and focused on his own music. And looking back, that might have been the smartest move of all. While everyone else was flip-flopping and looking disloyal, Keef stayed consistent. No disses, no fake alliances, no clout chasing. That's why when everything blew up, nobody could call Keef fake. He was the same before, during, and after, steady, focused, and out of the politics since day one. Sometimes being real isn't about choosing a side. It's about standing firm on your own lane and not pretending for attention. Now fast forward to today. Durk sitting in a federal cell facing life, and the same rappers who once stood behind him are now acting distant. But this story isn't just about Durk. It's about the entire rap industry. This whole situation pulled the curtain back on how loyalty really works in music. It's conditional, based on who's trending, who's streaming, and who's making money right now. The moment you lose the spotlight, Catch a case or stop charting, that brotherhood vanishes. The sad part, Durk built his entire brand around loyalty. Only the family was his motto. His songs always talked about staying real with your day ones. But when it was his turn to need loyalty, the industry went silent. Unfollows, deleted posts, and tour collabs with the people he clashed with. Only his blood family and real OTF day ones stayed solid. The rest, they disappeared like it was nothing. That's the world now. People move on convenience, not conviction. 1 minute they're your brother, next minute they're strangers. Loyalty's just a word people post online until it's time to actually prove it. And that's where things take one final twist. There's a wild theory floating around that some rappers didn't switch up on Durk by choice, but because their labels told them to. Once the feds step in, the big corporations start panicking. They don't want their investments tied to any serious cases or negative headlines that might hurt other artists or brand deals. So they give quiet orders, unfollow, stay neutral, don't comment. If that's true, then some of these rappers were pressured by contracts, threatened with being shelved or even dropped if they didn't fall in line. And if that's the case, that's even worse. It means the industry is the one controlling the loyalty narrative. They decide who's safe, who's canceled, and when it's time to walk away from somebody. That's the real matrix, the game behind the game. In this business, loyalty only lasts as long as your success does. Durk built his whole career on loyalty. He preached it, lived it, and stood on it. But when he needed it most, the industry exposed itself. And this ain't just a Durk situation. This is a hip-hop problem, a society problem, a human nature problem. Because once the fame fades, the followers disappear too. But the streets never forget, the fans never forget, and history never forgets who stayed solid and who switched up. Years from now, when people tell Durk's story, they'll remember who held him down and who turned their back. That's the real consequence. Not money, not legal issues, but legacy. What your name means in the culture. A lot of rappers just stamp their legacy in the wrong ways. In screenshots, they last forever. When Durk's story wraps up, whether he wins, takes a deal, or does time, people will remember who was really loyal and who wasn't. So tell me in the comments, was the industry wrong for switching up on Durk, or is it just part of the game? Team loyalty or team business? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because I got way more stories coming your way.